Dan Mccafferty of Scottish legendary rockers Nazareth. Are you there, Dan?
I am indeed, Gary. How are you?
Bless you. God, my heart's pounding. I'm like, is he there? Has he hung up on the phone? Has he given up on me?
No.
He's still there. How are you doing, Dan?
I'm very well, thanks, actually. We were just, we do a gig tomorrow in Dunfermline at the Alhambra for the Mary Leishman Fund. It's a charity thing, a homegrown thing. So we're looking forward to that. It's the first gig this year, so it's going to be fun, I think.
So you kind of, when it comes to the track listing, when you play live, you know, you and the guys kind of settle down together and you just sort of kind of really mix it up. I mean, do you keep it interesting for yourselves, or...?
No, we try, you know, obviously we have to play a lot of songs. And the other stuff, we try to do things that we think people will like and that we enjoy playing, you know, and then it makes it a kind of party sort of thing, so it's good. Big
Dogs there being your sort of latest album, that came out in, I think it was April last year.
Yes, in springtime last year, yeah.
Yeah, why the name Big Dogs? And you put a Z on the end as well,
it's a Naz thing as well, because of the Nazareth thing, we've all used the Z, you know, and it was just a song we wrote, and it was kind of about a guy that's sort of past his sell-by date, really. You know, but he's going out the time with the lads just to show them, you know what I mean? And it was like, tonight the big dog's going to howl, you know. It was a sort of, it's very tongue-in-cheek, actually.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
It's a good tune, you know. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually just heard it. I played it, maybe about 10 minutes ago or so. Played that very song that you mentioned. And it's a great kind of classic feel to it. The whole album's a good classic album. Well,
the thing is, that's kind of always what we've tried to do in Nazareth. We tried to make it sound like it's like handmade music, you know. We tried maybe in the 80s. We tried a few sort of techno things, and we were never really happy with it, you know. But a band's got to evolve, so you have to try different things, you know. Sometimes it works for you, and sometimes you think, oh, that was a bit of a pump, you know. So you just, you know, but nowadays we try to make music that we can take on stage and play live.
I mean,
you know, there's like not too many overdubs and things like that. Some off the floor kind of music, and we like to use like the live drums and things like that, you know. And you know, because it's beginning, we like Pro Tools and stuff like that now. Everybody's snare drums starting to sound the same, and that's a bit boring.
I was talking to a fellow presenter here on Caithness FM, and they were very, very sort of impressed with the cover versions that you've always kind of brought out, especially, you know, in the earlier days, like, for example, Love Hurts and This Flight Tonight being prime examples. But, I mean, how on earth do you find these songs, and how on earth do you sort of click with them and go, you know what, we could try maybe changing the tempo and doing something different with them? I mean, they're fantastic. How do you do that?
Well, it's just a case of, like, first of all, we've got to love the song. And, I mean, we like all kinds of music. So when you're on the road, you're on tour buses or vans or cars or whatever you're in, you hear different, you know, you know, CDs now. It used to be tapes, but CDs, you know. And see that on and listen to this, boys. And what happens is, everybody will like a song and you think, that's a really good tune, we really like that. But when we did This Fight Tonight, for instance,
Joni Mitchell's song, isn't it?
Joni Mitchell did it, and it was so personal and girly, you know, and she did it, and it's brilliant. But we thought, well, we love the song, but we can't do that, so let's do like a rock version of it, and which we did. And I mean, we let Joni hear it, and we were in Los Angeles, and she was making Courtney Spark, and we just arrived to do a tour. Love Hurts was a big hit at the time, and it was like, she went, oh, play it to me, so we played it to her, and she went, wow, with the rock band, that's really cool. And then a year later, she was on tour with Courtney Spark, and she announced it, by that time it had been a big hit everywhere, and she announced it as a Nazareth song, which I thought was kind of cute, you know, I have to say. So you pick a song that you think you can make your own. You know, there's no point of us trying to do it like Joni, it would be silly. It was the same, you know, when we did Love Hurts, for instance, we did it like mentally high and, you know, sort of harsh. And it was like, it really was like the first rock ballad that was a hit, you know? So, you know, you just get lucky with stuff like that. You do your best to make the song yours. And, I mean, people to this day think we wrote both of them. I wish I had, but I didn't. But, I mean, the songs were great. And I would rather do someone else's really good song on an album, then, well, we can put this on it. It's not very good, really, but, I'll make up the time. I don't agree with that, you know what I mean? So we've never done that, and we'll never start, I don't think.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just a case of being a fan. You've always got to be a fan. If you stop being a fan of music, of other people's music, then you kind of lose interest. If you're only interested in your own music, it's a bit sort of dull. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? You look outside your own comfort zone, I suppose.
But I mean, one particular standout fan who's gone public is, of course, W. Axl Rose of LA Rockers Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
I mean, that must have been a bit of a shock for you when it was announced that W. Axl Rose is put you on a pedestal and is going, well, I wouldn't be singing for Guns N' Roses if it wasn't for Dan Mccafferty and for Nazareth. How did you feel about all that? That
was great, because see, the thing is, we actually met the boys years ago. They used to come and see us when we played in California. They used to come to all the gigs. And they were, they loved us, and they loved Queen, and they loved all the bands, like we were talking about, all the bands we grew up with. They were teenagers at that time. We were playing it, but they were just kids at school. And they loved it all. And I mean, I think they had and I saw Axl, just when we were finishing up the album, Guns N' Roses played in Prague, and we recorded just outside Prague, so I went along to see him. It was great to see the kid. He's a really nice guy. He's maybe not the same as the rest of us, but he's a cool kid. He really is, and he's a great performer. And the band were great. I mean, I know the critics want to slag them because it's not the original band and all that kind of thing.
That's right.
But I mean, honest to God, it was a great show, and I've got to say 20,000 Czech Republicans thought so too.
Well, that's where the sort of heart of the matter is, isn't it? It's the fans that
loved
count.
It. I mean, they went down a storm, and they were great, and they were really good, and obviously they played a lot of stuff off the new album, but they played a lot of old, they played all the biggies from Guns N' Roses as well, so
they mixed it up, yeah.
And I mean, I'm sorry the band split up, because I loved all the guys. I mean, I loved Slash and Duff and them. They were all really good kids, and it's a shame.
Do you keep in touch with Slash at all? Because I mean, I know he's going to be doing some promotion later this year for his new album.
Well, we've crossed paths now and again, and I'm glad that he cleaned up his act and he's really got himself together now and that, because he was always a talented boy. I mean, and will remain so. And now he's a talented man.
And you're there to see this all. This must be so strange for you, but that's kind of what I'm thinking here. I mean, you're talking about a band that was founded back in '68, and here we are now in 2012, and you're still rocking. I mean, what sort of advice would you give to any band or any member of a band who's wanting to keep it going and to make a living out of it? What's your advice?
Well, I would say, do what you want to do. Don't you listen to, this friend, they do this. Do the music you're happy with playing. And it makes you happy when you play it. And get a lawyer.